Hey, what's up, YouTube? One more video for the KRAS 74. Oh wow, 7435 channel. I might come out with more content with maybe League of Legends if I wanted to, but basically, I will be talking about my top five NBA teams that will do very well this season for the 2019-2020 season for the NBA. I wanted to basically make this video to dedicate my respects to the NBA players that are playing really hard this season. I think there's a lot of great players and there's a lot of talent that the NBA should really watch out for. But then again, there will be, ups and downs in the league, and there will be guys that will be fighting for positions and fighting to get their spot. So yeah, let's get right to it. My first top team that will do very good in the NBA is the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think when it comes to the Lakers, LeBron James has proven himself in the NBA to be the only player, or one of very few players, to win three titles on two different teams. That being the Miami Heat in 2012 and 2013. They did very well until the Heat lost to the Spurs in 2014. And then after that, LeBron James went back to Cleveland in 2015, lost to the Warriors in the finals, and then he came back in 2016, beat the Warriors basically single-handedly all by himself. Well, I mean, Kyrie Irving assisted him, so we can't really say that. Honestly, Kyrie Irving has proven himself to be one of the best point guards in the NBA. But when it really comes down to it, there's a lot of talent that Kyrie has to battle, where he basically just comes out and just takes everybody, because there's just a lot of crazy talent that Kyrie has to face. He got Kemba, he has D'Angelo, he has De'Aaron Fox. I mean, Kyrie, he knows that he has a lot of talent that he has to come down and beat. But I think Kyrie Irving is probably one of the best point guards in the NBA, along with Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry and maybe CP3, but nah, I'd probably just put him out of there. CP3, he's done, man. Yeah, he's fucking done. But now, like, the Lakers, they are looking like that they could really do some damage in the playoffs. You got Danny Green, you got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and then on top of that, Jared Dudley and Alex Caruso. I mean, the Lakers definitely have a lot of talent, and I think the Lakers, they're definitely going to make some noise in the playoffs. And if anything, if they do well, they will make them, make sure that they can definitely make it to the finals. And I think LeBron James needs to prove himself this year in order to become a title contender. If not, the Lakers will break apart, and AD will just probably find another team that could probably give him that, boost up for a title. So that's my first team. The second team would be the Chicago Bulls. No. I'm actually trolling on that one. The second team would be the Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers, they're very, very good. Unfortunately, with maybe a few losses here and there. I mean, the Clippers, they definitely brought themselves to a much better team. And I think, honestly, they're going to do very, very good, I think Kawhi Leonard has proven himself to be a absolute beast. And I think the Clippers, they're definitely going to come out of their way and be title contenders. Whether or not, if they're seeded at 1 or maybe 2, 3 or 4. But the Lakers are going to be their toughest competition of who they face. Because, one, the Lakers have so much longevity to stretch the floor and start a lot of mix-ups when it comes to passing out, off of like a screen or doing a lot of, small ball, which that's what the Lakers likes to do. Definitely getting people up on the post up, the rebounds. LeBron James, he has a army of good players, but if anybody wants to be consistent, the Clippers can literally obliterate the Lakers if Paul George comes back healthy, along with Kawhi Leonard, along with Patrick Beverley, if he remains healthy. And you got Ivica. I've been watching, him since he joined the Lakers, and he's a monster. Lou Williams, he obviously has a lot of talent behind him, and with his records of what he's been putting up, at least up to 20 plus points per game. I wouldn't hold it, against me that Lou Williams will definitely win Sixth Man of the Year, and he could literally be a problem, in the playoffs. Which, honestly, if the Clippers do win the title, Kawhi Leonard will be the best player in the NBA. He can win 3 titles on 3 different teams. No player in the NBA has done that. I don't think any player in the NBA has ever done that. But if you could win 3 titles on 3 different teams, that speaks volume. That's like literally Canelo the other night winning 4 titles, currently 4 titles, 4 title belts in 4 different weight class divisions. That speaks volume. No boxer ever does that, and this is what's going to happen if Kawhi Leonard wins the NBA title. Which he should, because Kawhi Leonard, he's in his prime. LeBron James and AD, they're a good team as well, but I also really wanted to see Kawhi on that team. So if Kawhi was on that team, the NBA would have been definitely given the title to the Lakers already. But the Lakers probably wanted to kind of ease things out with AD more than Kawhi. So I think Kawhi, he kind of just, wanted to go to the Clippers because he knew that the Clippers were going to give him a better deal at the end of the day. Which, if you're going to follow with the money, then go for it. But I think Kawhi wanted to do Clippers because it's a lot more of his scenery, and it gives him more of a, I guess like a better vibe to be with a team that actually wants to win, and, I guess like be more like, driven mentally and physically. Basically, Kawhi wants to have a good chemistry, so I think maybe him, with the Clippers, probably gave him like a better, comfortable stance of where he was, I guess like, playing, or, the teammates that are in the team that makes him happy to actually stay there. So, yeah, I do think the Clippers are going to be a problem in the NBA this season. Team number 3 would probably have to be the Brooklyn Nets. Even though that the Brooklyn Nets has a little bit of a restriction of, players maybe getting hurt here and there. Even though that KD, he is currently hurt, and Kyrie, if he remains healthy, that would be a problem, and that would probably faceplant, or that would probably, stop their chances of making it to the playoffs. But if Kyrie, remains healthy, the Brooklyn Nets will be a problem, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Durant could possibly come back if he were to, get some form of, extra treatment to make him play on the court. But then again, if he says what he did say, after the end of the, Warriors versus Raptors finals, that he would probably have to take a year off and then come back, stronger next year, then fine. I think that's a better decision, because when you hit your 30s in the NBA, you don't want to make yourself a bigger risk to possibly get hurt. And I think that makes a lot more sense if I was in Kevin Durant's shoes, because nobody doesn't want to be put in that bad situation. So I think the Nets can be a problem. They have a lot of young talent. You got Joe Harris, you got Karis LeVert. You got guys that are ready to win, and I think Brooklyn can definitely get there if Kyrie can manage his teammates and make sure that they make it to a possible contention in the playoffs and possibly NBA Finals, maybe. But I mean, I'm only saying that because I do it for the entertainment. But no, I definitely do think Kyrie Irving. He's a very great player. He does not stop when he needs to win, and he will do anything in his power to win. Kyrie really gives him, yeah, he really puts himself in a really good position when he tries to win, and he comes out to play. All right, so another team that I think will do good. We've already done 3 teams so far. We've done the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Nets. Number 4 would be the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, so a lot of people think the Milwaukee Bucks are a very good team, and rightfully so. I think the Bucks are a very strong team. They can come out with a very tough, resume of talent, and I think when you see the talent that has been building up with the Bucks has definitely brought the insanity to the franchise, because the last time we've ever really saw Milwaukee do very good was with Michael Redd. And I mean, we all know how that went down, but Michael Redd, he definitely gave the team some hope. And then came with OJ Mayo after that, and then it just all fell apart. I mean, I can't really speak for every player, but then again, I'm not going to speak for them. Just by looking at their game and looking at the injuries that they've went through, yeah, they have definitely been, in the drought of not putting up a lot of talent. Yeah, not putting up a lot of talent in order to get themselves to that level. So, I mean, if anything, it just makes makes it a lot harder for people to determine which player is going to do good for the league or for the team that they play for. So I think honestly, when it comes down to this team, the Bucks, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, you have who else? You got Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe. You got maybe, I'm not too sure, but correct me. You got Brook Lopez. I mean, you really have a lot of great talent, and people definitely come out to play. It makes it pretty easy to say that they really want to show out in the league, and they'll do anything in their power to win. I just think with Giannis, him winning MVP, yeah, he's definitely going to show out with a really good blowout season, and I think if he does well, he will definitely bring his team to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that will be a very good squad to basically battle up against. All right, so I think my final predictions for the Bucks is they have a very good squad. They are prepared. They can shoot a lot from the outside. They have a great bench and a good backcourt with Giannis. And, oh man, who's the other guy? Chris Middleton. And if they continue well, they can really do a lot of damage. So, yeah, let's talk about the last and final team. My last and final team that I think will do very, very good this season could possibly be, I don't know. I was really debating this. I was going to go with Philly or probably the Rockets, but you know what? I don't really like James Harden and Westbrook, but I'm going to go with Philly. I'm sorry. I think Philly will be one of the best teams in the NBA to do a lot of damage. The reason why is because, one, you got a lot of big men that could shoot. I mean, Joel Embiid, and who's that other guy? I forgot the other guy, but let me just take a look at the 76ers roster. Um, you got Joel Embiid. You have, oh wow, they just won the other day against Portland, and they are 5-0. Wow. Oh man, that's crazy. You got Al Horford. I think you got Tobias Harris, and if I'm not mistaken, you have Delon Wright. If I'm not mistaken, but I mean there is a lot of talent for the 76ers. You got Ben Simmons. You have oh man, who's not the other people on this team? Like, cause like this team, like just be changing up every single time. All right, you got Trey Burke. I thought Trey Burke was on the Thunder. What, he just like decided to just, oh nope, let me get traded. Go up here. You got Tobias Harris. You got Al Horford. You got Furkan Korkmaz. I mean, he's okay. I don't really consider him that good. Josh Richardson. I definitely almost forgot about you. Whoa, he's averaging 23 points a game. Yo, my boy Josh, he's gonna have a great season this year. Mike Scott, Ben Simmons, Zaire Smith. He's a rookie, but I think honestly the Sixers they definitely have a very deep roster. They can definitely put on a lot of good talent if they push themselves every single day. And if anything, they can definitely shock a lot of people. I think as far as the playoffs for any postseason matchups, there's going to be a lot of battling with the Milwaukee Bucks or possibly the I don't know, because there are plenty of good teams in the East. Well, no, the East is terrible, but there could be some good competition within the East for the Sixers to have a problem with. There could be problems with the Raptors. Definitely teams like oh man, who's the other team? Yeah, with the Bucks, that will be a tough matchup. Like what's the other team? Oh yeah, like the Nets. Shit. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I never come prepared. Eastern Conference NBA. Yeah. You could possibly have a lot of problems with the Celtics. I think honestly that the Celtics would be a problem as well. And I am actually currently looking at the standings right now. Philly's at number 1, the Bucks are at number 4, Celtics are at number 3, and the Heat are at number 2. Yo, if the Heat makes it to the playoffs and they become number 2, which I wouldn't be surprised because the East is very weak, so there's not really a lot to really say that what the East would do. But I wouldn't surprise myself if the Sixers become like one of the best teams out of the East. And the Celtics could possibly hit number 2 or 3. And then the Bucks will probably hit number 1 or 2. So I don't know. That's kind of debatable. The Hawks, shout out to Kevin Huerter. They could definitely give some problems to teams like the Hornets or the Pistons. I mean, as far as just looking at where the vision is with these teams, I can definitely see the Sixers, the Heat, and the Celtics going at it along with the Bucks. But as far as anything else goes, I think these 5 teams that I've mentioned, for my top 5 that will do very good this season, they will have to prove to me and to everybody else in the NBA that they are top tier teams. They can compete, and they can definitely do the same thing what they are doing now to translate to the postseason. So that way there is enough, I guess, like, I don't know, just like, I guess, like, respect for players that are coming out to compete and become, champions. So yeah, I think honestly this is going to be a very tough tier bracket of like what teams we are going to see doing very well this season. But if anything, I just had to use Philly over the Rockets because the Rockets are 3-2. So I mean, if they keep losing and they don't know what they're doing, then James Harden and Russell Westbrook were probably one of the worst, combinations in the league. But I'm not gonna hold that to them. I'll let their game do the talking, and I'll just kind of go about my way of how I see things, coming out. But I just think like after the Warriors lost, it's like, yeah, basically like we just now see that the Warriors, in huge, decline. So that means like the NBA, in a political realm, it is definitely revolutionizing with new teams coming up that are trying to win a title, which would probably be the Spurs or the Timberwolves or the Lakers or shit, even the Utah Jazz or the Nuggets. So yeah, we really don't know who's really gonna come out and actually dominate, but those are my top five. Let me know what your top five are in the NBA. I will see y'all later. Have a good night and bye.